Have you ever encountered those moments when something that was said just doesn't sit right? Imagine Sheldon Cooper from The Big Bang Theory. With his brilliant mind but notoriously challenged by social nuances, unable to grasp sarcasm or irony, often creating awkward situations without even realizing it. Now think about how many times, unintentionally, we might find ourselves in the same position, not because of a lack of understanding irony, but by asking that seemingly innocent question that ends up being anything but pleasant. At this very moment, I, Carol, host of the Lucrative Elegance channel, will explore with you the delicate terrain of human interactions with a touch of elegance and insight. I'm here to unveil the 5 forbidden questions of social life. Those that, even among close friends or new acquaintances, have the power to embarrass and leave an undesirable mark on how people view you. Let's dive into this topic to avoid them and to understand why they can potentially offend, ensuring that our conversations strengthen bonds rather than wear them out. This applies to all contexts, from the warmth of friendship to the formality of the workplace, where the image we project can be our greatest ally or worst enemy. Before we venture into this world of dialogues and delicacies, remember to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, and leave your like. This helps us continue bringing valuable and refined content, made especially for you who values beauty and good company, without ever sacrificing authenticity and elegance. Prepare for a journey of discovery, for by the end of this video, you will know which questions to avoid and how to replace them with dialogues that enchant and bring people closer. Welcome to the world of lucrative elegance, where every word counts and every interaction is an opportunity to shine. 1. The delicacy of personal questions. Have you ever noticed how certain questions, asked innocently or in an attempt to start a conversation, can end up touching on deep wounds or extremely personal subjects? Take, for example, the classic question directed at single people or those who have recently gone through a separation. When are you going to get married or remarry? Seems harmless, right? But think about it. This question carries a huge load of social expectations on the shoulders of the listener. We live in a society that seems to follow a predefined script for adult life. Graduate, get married, have children. But what happens when life doesn't follow this script to the letter? What if there are choices or circumstances that lead us down different paths? The pressure, often veiled in these questions, can be a painful reminder of unmet expectations or dreams not yet realized. Consider the impact of asking about plans to have children to a couple that has been together for years. It looks like just curiosity, but what if that couple is facing difficulties conceiving? What if their journey is marked by failed attempts and painful losses? A close friend struggling with infertility told me that each question about when she will have children is a stab in the wound, a reminder of her losses and battles. The point is, our words have power. They can accidentally reopen wounds or make someone feel exposed and vulnerable. Before asking such intimate questions, stop for a moment. Think about the possible journey of the person you're speaking to. Be sensitive to the fact that some subjects, as common as they may seem, can be delicate territories for many. So how do we navigate these waters? The key is sensitivity and empathy. Instead of directly asking about such personal matters, why not open up space for people to share what they feel comfortable disclosing? This way, we create dialogues that respect everyone's boundaries and stories, strengthening connections instead of imposing discomfort. 2. Why to avoid questions about body weight. In today's world marked by retouched images and unattainable beauty standards, talking about weight can be more delicate than it has ever been. The pressure to fit into a certain ideal affects everyone, regardless of whether they are trying to lose weight, gain muscle, or simply stay healthy. That's why asking someone about their weight can be as intrusive as it is tactless. It brings up a personal and often complex issue. Let's consider for a moment, what do we really gain by knowing someone's weight? Most of the time, this information adds nothing to us and may inadvertently cause discomfort or even pain. Each of us has a unique relationship with our body and health, a journey that may be filled with personal struggles and achievements. I confess, my relationship with the scale is a constant battle, a process full of ups and downs that I prefer not to have as a topic of casual conversations. This subject, so loaded with emotions and vulnerabilities, deserves to be treated with the utmost respect. It is crucial to recognize that comments or questions about weight can touch on very intimate aspects of someone's self-esteem and body image. Therefore, before addressing such topics, it is essential to ask oneself, is this question necessary? Does it positively contribute to the conversation? Elegance is not only in what we choose to wear or how we present ourselves to the world, but also in the sensitivity with which we treat others. Avoiding questions about weight is a matter of common sense and an act of empathy and respect for the individual journey of each person with their own body. Let's opt then to build dialogues that uplift, that celebrate achievements, and that offer support, instead of focusing on numbers that say so little about who we really are. 3. Avoid questions about costs. Navigating social interactions requires tact and a deep understanding of which topics might be delicate or even invasive. One such topic, often underestimated in its capacity to cause discomfort, is the cost of personal belongings. Who hasn't found themselves in a situation where, after receiving a compliment on an item, be it a pair of shoes, a bag, or even an accessory, the conversation takes an unexpected turn with the question, "How much did you pay for this?" This type of inquiry, seemingly harmless, carries a number of implications. First, it presupposes that it's acceptable to measure a person's value or status by the cost of the items they choose to buy. Second, it puts the person in an uncomfortable position, having to justify or reveal financial details that may be personal or sensitive. And let's be honest, there's something fundamentally uncomfortable about being evaluated or judged by the price tag of our possessions or choices. In an ideal world, the value of an object to someone should not be measured solely by its monetary cost, but rather by the meaning or joy it brings. Every purchase has a story, a reason, or even a lucky moment of finding a unique piece at an exceptional price. By asking, "How much did this cost?" we inadvertently reduce all that richness of experiences to a mere number. Furthermore, this question can bring to the fore issues of access and financial privilege that many prefer not to discuss openly. We do not know the individual circumstances of each person, their priorities, or even their personal achievements that the item might represent. Therefore, the next time you feel tempted to ask the price of something, remember that true elegance also lies in the grace with which we respect each other's personal and financial spaces. Opt to focus on what really matters: the taste, the style, or the story behind that choice, thus creating a more meaningful and respectful connection. 4. Financial privacy. Why to avoid asking about income? In a society that often measures success and personal value in dollar signs, curiosity about others' earnings might seem natural to some. However, this is one of the most invasive and delicate questions you can ask. How much do you earn? Addressing this subject crosses personal boundaries and can create fertile ground for unnecessary comparisons and judgments. When we ask about someone's salary, we may inadvertently be stepping into a minefield of insecurities and pressures. Regardless of whether a person earns more or less, that number rarely tells the complete story of their professional and personal life. There are those who work tirelessly for compensation that does not reflect the effort expended, as well as those who, due to various privileges or circumstances, may have considerable earnings with less apparent effort. Moreover, this question carries an implicit comparison, a search for benchmarks that often only serve to reinforce stereotypes or encourage competition. A person's value, their skills, work ethic, and achievements extend far beyond the amount that appears in their bank statement. It's worth remembering that financial privacy is a right. Each person has their own reasons for keeping this information private, whether they relate to security, principles, or simply personal comfort. Creating space for someone to share their professional achievements and challenges without pressing for specific numbers shows respect and maturity in relationships. Therefore, instead of focusing on how much someone earns, why not steer the conversation toward the positive aspects of work and professional life? Ask about passions, projects, learnings, and growth. These are the conversations that truly enrich relationships, allowing us to know each other better and create stronger, more meaningful connections. 5. The delicacy of assessing authenticity. In a world fascinated by brands and the authenticity of luxury products, curiosity about the genuineness of the items someone wears may seem harmless at first glance. However, questions like, "Is this real jewelry?" or "Is that bag authentic?" touch on much deeper aspects than mere curiosity about an item's provenance. Such questions can inadvertently suggest judgments about status, personal taste, or even someone's integrity. Reflecting on the reason for the question is essential. What do we really want to know when we question the authenticity of an item someone is wearing? Whether it's jewelry, a designer bag, or any other luxury article, the value of these items to those who chose them can go beyond their price tag or brand. For many, choosing an accessory is an expression of personal style, a meaningful gift, or perhaps a special milestone in life. Questioning the authenticity of an item someone is wearing puts the person in an uncomfortable position and conveys the message that our recognition and respect are conditioned on the material authenticity of what others own. This type of approach can inadvertently imply a superficial evaluation of personal value, based on material goods rather than individual qualities and achievements. Moreover, this question assumes a need for external validation, ignoring the fact that the decision to wear a replica or an original item belongs solely to the person who chose it. Such a choice can be influenced by a variety of valid reasons, from economic considerations to personal or ethical preferences. But here's my opinion. It's much better to choose something from a brand you can afford an original of, rather than buying a replica. I strongly advise against doing that, but we'll talk about this in another video. Instead of focusing on the origin or cost of the items someone chooses to showcase, we can direct our attention and appreciation to what truly matters: individual expression and sense of style. Praising the beauty or uniqueness of a piece, without questioning its authenticity, is a way to value the person for who they are, not the material value of what they own. Thus, we promote an environment of mutual respect and genuine appreciation for personal choices, reinforcing that our value transcends the labels of the items we choose to wear. Have you ever noticed how much our conversations can completely change the way we are perceived? It's amazing how avoiding certain habits during a dialogue not only makes them more charismatic, but also significantly broadens our social circle in a positive way. And speaking of broadening horizons, I have a sensational tip for you. Be sure to watch the video 5 Habits to Eliminate from Childhood. Oh, and guess what? For those who love skincare as much as I do, I've prepared a surprise. In the first pinned comment, you'll find a link to my favorite skincare products. Check it out and discover how to keep your skin radiant and healthy. Before we go, a question for you. Which of the tips shared today do you think will make the biggest difference in your next social interaction? I'd love to see your answers and stories in the comments below. I guarantee it will be worth it. And of course, if this video brought some light or inspiration to your day, show your support with a like and subscribe to the Lucrative Elegance channel for more content like this. We're always bringing in new content that blends fashion, elegance, and that special touch of personal development we all love. Today, we reviewed the importance of sensitivity in daily interactions and how avoiding certain questions can completely transform our presence in any setting. Remember, every word has power, and every conversation is an opportunity to shine and create stronger bonds. With that in mind, are you feeling ready to enchant in your next conversation? I'm curious to see how these tips will enrich your interactions. And don't forget, elegance begins with empathy and respect for others. Until our next meeting, where we'll explore even more secrets to a life full of elegance and charm. Keep shining.